All right, so we're here to start the Finance Committee. Could we have a roll call, Madam Clerk? On time. All right, we have quorum. All right, so we'll start with declarations of pecuniary interest. Any members of council of committee? Seeing none, move on to adoption of the minutes. Could I have a moved by both by Chair Henry, a seconder, Councillor Wu. Any comments or questions on the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carries. Move on to, there's no statutory public meetings, presentations, or delegations, so you're in for hopefully a quick meeting today. Nothing in correspondence. First report, item 7.2A. Could I have a mover? All right, moved by Chair Henry, can I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor McDougall. Any pulls? Comments or questions? Seeing none, I'll call the question on both motions, both reports. All those in favor? Those both carry. So finance correspondence, none. Reports, none. Going down to confidential matters, we have item 10.1 reports, 10.1A. Is there a need to move, mover first? Chair Henry, seconder, Councillor Garrod. Any questions or comments on that? Because we might have to go in camera. All right. So seeing none, I'll call the questions. All those in favor? All right. This could be. So any other business? All right. Councillor Schumer, Mayor Schumer, you are on. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. And you can hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I might have a bit of a delay on my internet. As many or all of you may know, Brock Township brought in its new CAO last month. And over the weekend, I was getting a few scheduling things ready. And one of them, of course, was the reviews that we do. As everybody knows, the CAO of a municipality is council's only employee. And in doing some of that work, I couldn't help but think I've been on regional council now for a little over a year. And do we do similar reviews for our CAO? I personally feel it's only the fair thing to do for any employee, let alone a position as important as the CAO, to give that individual a review and confirm confidence in them. And I think it's of course fair to council. So I was just wondering if indeed the region does that for our CAO.
I know to staff, do we have a process on review for CAO that we can speak to?
On behalf of council, I work directly with the CAO.
Oh, sorry, your mic's not on. Sorry. Hang on. Now it is. Sorry, go ahead.
So on behalf of council, I work directly with the CAO. We meet 3 times a week. I consider that the direction of council given to me and both the good and bad are discussed on a weekly basis. And I just want to say that the work that is done by our CAO, both not only in the region, but at the provincial and the federal level, is exemplary. So I'm not sure what Mayor Schumer is looking for. I have never had a complaint flow up through council, but all issues related to the region are discussed at least twice a week.
So does that answer your question, Councillor Schumer, or would you like, do you have supplementary?
Well, I guess all I was trying to do was confirm if a formal review is done. Normally, what I can't speak for any other municipality. Normally, what Brock does is on an annual basis, at least, council meets and discusses how things have been in the last year, so that we can, like I said, give that input directly to the CAO. Because, like I said, it's only fair that as council's only employee, that individual receives some good input and formal input from members of council.
I guess the question, so is there a formal process other than what, there's no formal process, it's just a casual review with yourself and the CAO? Like, there's nothing in
It's-
policy, right?
Well, all policy that goes, almost all policy that goes through to the CAO is regional direction. And then the work that is done on behalf of the region outside of this building is done through the CAO's office. And continuous improvement is something that I bring to this region from the private sector, and you can see the changes that have been made in this organization since me being here for 5 years. A lot of that work comes through council, so I'm not sure if you're looking at a 360. I'm not sure if you're looking at a review. But I think I am confident in the work that the CAO does. And by the way, I'm confident in the work that our entire senior leadership does on behalf of this council. Remembering that they work on behalf of this council and the direction, and we work on behalf of our residents.
Perfect. I like, does that answer your question, Mayor Schumer?
Yeah, I guess it answers it that there isn't a formal policy on providing
If
the input on a regular basis. I understand that the regional chair meets with the CAO on a regular basis, and I guess it's something council could consider if they feel that there should be a policy for regular reviews. I think it's a good idea myself. We exercise it at in Brock that there is an actual formal review, but maybe it's something that should go to council for discussion, because it is our only employee, and I understand what the regional chair is saying and appreciate that. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is it came to mind having to establish the dates for our local CFO reviews.
Okay.
If there was an issue related to how this region was being managed through our CAO's office, I would bring it to council. I don't have
Okay.
any issues.
Okay, fair enough. So if we'll leave it at that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Was there any other new and unfinished business? There was something for me. Oh, go ahead. Oh, here. Oh, I got to hit request. It's not in the, just request and I'll do
So
it. There
just
you go.
a question through to our treasurer. We have been watching at awe at the money coming from the federal government to the city of Toronto. While I respect the work of the mayor in Toronto and the council, is Durham Region getting the same attention and funding from the federal government that the city of Toronto is? We share a same border. Our residents share commuting back and forth to each other's communities. And I would think it only would be fair that if additional money is being funded into the city of Toronto for housing, policing, all those things, I would like to see the same thing, or know if we're getting the same opportunities, so that money can be used against our budget process on the things that we're not supposed to fund through taxpayers' dollars.
So through the chair, we continue to lobby for announcements in our share of federal related funding. We do get one-off announcements on various provincial things, as you know, like policing. We get, there's been a few small grants come through there, but we have not visibly seen any outcome of the lobbying we're doing to try to obtain a reasonable share of the region.
Follow-up, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the commissioner. Commissioner, is it possible for you to track the additional funding that went to the city of Toronto for all the good causes that their council has been working on, similar to all the great work that our council has done? But if we could track it, then it would be possible through this committee and then through council to petition the federal government on equal and fair funding for all, not just the city of Toronto.
So through the chair, perhaps the CAO and I can work through that with, I'm thinking government relations might be able to do an extract from public announcements, because that's really all we have to work with. So we can certainly make an attempt at extracting what's been publicly released.
So, acting chair,
Yeah,
would you take that as direction?
For sure.
To staff? And that could staff prepare a motion for council, if this is appropriate, I'll ask our CAO, that we make sure that the federal government is aware that Durham is equal to challenges as the city of Toronto, and quite frankly, in order to be fair funding for communities that are having the same challenges, not just Durham region, but I mean the entire country. It is unfair, and I apologize, it's a little
okay.
long. It is unfair to see a community that shares a common border with the region, and the announcements on the news this morning about how they're able to make their budget commitments with funding that is coming from the federal government to subsidize their community.
Mhm.
Property taxes were set to fund certain things, and we're funding things, and I've said it before, the challenges with mental health, homelessness, and addictions, the challenging with the revolving door of criminality and policing. They call it recidivism. I always struggle with that word. That it's unfair that we have the same problem. And I'll give you one example. Light on crime is creating a problem, not just as you see it, but last night I was in, I won't mention which Canadian Tire store, and a item that normally is on the shelf is no longer on the shelf. Now, a month ago, I went to buy a new head for my Braun toothbrush at a store. I'll use Shoppers Drug Mart because that's where I was, but I won't mention which one. They're now locked up. Then a merchandiser has to go behind the counter to get it because shoplifting has become such a big problem. Shoplifting is a problem because people don't take into the account that the cost of food and the cost of merchandise, that the cost of shoplifting is now built into the price. So it's part of the day-to-day stuff. So I think any money that the city of Toronto has gotten for additional policing, mental health, homelessness, addiction, housing, we should be treated exactly fairly. So I would ask again, if through you, Chair,
Sure.
Acting Chair, that this committee give direction, that a motion come forward that we can send to the other levels of government to say, fair is fair. The people in Durham region pay all of their taxes, income tax, sales tax, similar to how it goes on in Toronto, and we should be entitled to the same treatment. We should not be treated differently.
No, so, okay, so you'd like to put a motion on that?
I think direction to staff to
Direction's
bring the
enough?
motion back,
Okay.
and then it comes to council, and I won't be able to move it at council because I sit in the chair, but I would look forward to a member of finance moving that motion and seconding it so that we can start to act on, give our government relations team some more tools in their toolbox to try to represent the region in proper funding.
Yeah, no, for sure. Is there, like, is it like a per capita request, or is it?
I think if you leave it to the talents of our staff, that they will find a way to maximize that financial ask
Mhm.
in a way that represents Durham region, considering what's gone to the city of Toronto.
No,
Absolutely.
fair enough. And then that's okay. No issue with meeting that for council?
No, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think that's totally fair. And yeah, we just don't seem to have the voice or the media power or any of the things that Toronto gets. So hopefully we can do something.
Well, considering we light up a third of the province, maybe if we just turn the lights off for half a day, they'd do
Well, they remember where we are for sure. Any other comments or question on that before the staff? Okay, Councilor McDougall. All right, I'm a little slow on the button. Go ahead.
Perfect, thank you. And I can't agree more. Inflation really helps the federal government out. As things cost us more, they collect more in GST, or HST, sorry. I mean, this just benefits their coffers. So the more it costs us, the more money they have coming in. So realistically, they can help us out. And this is just, it's expected. On a second note, I was slow off the hop, and regional chair was quite quick. I did want to just mention the great work that the Accessibility Committee does, and that's wrapped up in that report. And items like Project Search, paying attention to how we roll out 311 and the accessibility at the counter, the accessibility when you call in. All these things are under the eye of the great work that the accessibility committee does. And so they really do great work all the time, paying attention to, our site plans for the new long-term care home, et cetera. Like, they're doing really good work. So I just want to draw attention to that. So that's all. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Oh, excellent. Yeah, and Project Search was on the news the other night, so to get some speaking to the good work that was done there. So excellent. Yeah. Any other comments or
No, that's all. Thank
moves
you,
or motions?
Mr. Chair. No, that's it.
Thank you, Councillor McDougall. So I'll have Councillor Lee is in the speaking box. Go ahead, Councillor Lee.
Thank you, Chair. Adding to what the regional chair was mentioning, I get the focus on the federal government, but we'd be remiss to not point out the provincial government gave Toronto billions with a B over 3 years, as well as taking control of the Gardner and DVP. So, a lot of the things the regional chair was mentioning are actually provincial responsibilities as well. And, at the end, he did mention that we should be holding all levels of government accountable. Couldn't agree more, but we should also be cognizant of which goes where too, right? So yes, bail reform is absolutely federal responsibility. Mental health, homelessness, you can make the argument that it's actually primarily a provincial responsibility, as well as healthcare and our waiting rooms in the hospitals. I think overall, there's a lot that Durham is not getting from all levels, and I would welcome a chance to point that out and break it down from finance. Thank you, Chair.
No, absolutely, for sure. Any other, still on new and unfinished business? Any other new and unfinished business? All right, seeing none. Motion to adjourn. Moved by Chair Henry, second by Councillor McDougall. All those in favor? Motion carries. Well, 17 minutes. Almost a record.